All right, welcome everybody. We'll officially call this meeting to order. Welcome to the August 2025 Fall Panel meeting. We'll start as always with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the Arapaho, Ute, and Cheyenne tribes, the traditional custodians of the land on which the Police Oversight Panel and Boulder Police Department operate, and pay our respects to their elders past and present. I want to welcome everyone to this meeting, panel members. Thank you all for being here. Members of the public, any media we may have joining us, and of course our Boulder staff. Thanks for being here, everybody. Want to give some polite reminders of our agreed upon meeting expectations. Everyone try to keep your cameras on for the majority of the meeting. Totally fine to pop off for a few minutes here and there, but we want to make sure everyone is on camera, especially when we are voting. So we'll keep those on, please. For any members of the public, you are welcome to use the Q&A during the meeting for small questions. If you have bigger questions or comments, please pause for our public comment. We'll do that about halfway through the meeting. It tends to be around 7:30 p.m. So we will have time for everyone in attendance to make public comment at that time. You can also email us, contact us anytime at our full panel email address. You can email us at policeoversightpanel@bouldercolorado.gov. You can also visit our website to find out more information or to submit a complaint. That's bouldercolorado.gov/services/police-oversight. And we'd love to hear from you. Please reach out anytime. All of our meetings are recorded. You can see this meeting and all of our past meetings online anytime, also posted to our website. And with that, I will kick it over to Sherry or Selena for our roll call.
Thanks, Lizzie. Curtis looks to be absent with notification in advance. Chico?
I'm here.
Bill is currently absent, but he might be popping in. Alan?
Here.
AB? Appears to be absent. Turner?
Here.
Soledad?
Here.
Milen?
Here.
Lizzie?
Here.
Kristen also appears to be absent. Jason?
Here.
And that is 7, so y'all have quorum.
All right, thank you, Sherry. So with that, we will go to a brief look at our agenda for tonight. I believe you guys should be able to see this. We will start with our usual discussion of the minutes. We'll have a chance to approve those. We'll go into 20 minutes for an update on community outreach and engagement. We have a few items today, some event updates, and we'll also go into a brief discussion of event planning. We'll have our IPM report. Our panel updates and ad hoc items tonight will be some discussion about a recent fatal incident with CUPD and AMR paramedics. Sherry will give us some information about that. We'll talk through ride-along reminders and an update on legal training. Then we'll go to public comment, again, hopefully around 7:30 p.m. We'll go into our potentially closed session if folks want to opt into that. Then we'll get to regular business, our case review voting, case assignment status, and assignment of new cases before adjourning, hopefully around 8:30. If anyone has items they would like to propose adding to the minutes, we can take those suggestions now, or if anyone would like, we can vote to approve the minutes. Do we have any suggestions or a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of July.
Or I'm sorry, the agenda. Approve the
Or
agenda.
the agenda.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you, Alan. I think I started it. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Great. All right, all in favor of approving the agenda? All right, any opposed? Fabulous. All right, our agenda is approved. With that, we will go over to potentially approving the minutes. Do we have any edits or suggestions of changes to the minutes, or do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Great. All in favor of approving the minutes? All right, any opposed? All right, our minutes are approved. With that, we'll get into our first agenda item, starting with, well, we're gonna have a community outreach and engagement update. We had Bill slotted in for this. I know he had kind of a last minute urgent situation. Has he ended up joining by chance? I know he was gonna try to drop in. Okay. Well, Sherry, I know, do you have any of these update items? We could start with those, or we could sort of table this to later in the agenda in the hopes that he might be able to pop in. Or a third option, one of our other community engagement and outreach committee members could give our update.
I can handle
Preferences?
first
Okay.
several options if you want,
That would be great. Thank you.
or items, not options.
Yeah.
So next Thursday, which is August 21st, the police oversight panel members are invited to join the community connectors in residence. This is something that Bill has been arranging, and the community connectors in residence are people who have a role with the city based on their involvement in different communities within Boulder. So this is an opportunity to meet some people who might be able to help us share the word about what the police oversight panel does, and more importantly, help connect us with some of the communities that the panel is hoping to reach. So this should be an invitation that is on all of your calendars. So if you can please accept or decline, I'm sure that would be appreciated by the people who are putting this together. But hopefully we will be able to see lots of faces in person next Thursday. Any questions about that? Okay. I've shared with you my hopes that we would be able to be at some tabling events at CU, since it is expected that we are going to have at least one open student panel member for the next year. So there were two that I told people about on August 27th and August 26th. Because we don't fit in perfectly with what they're looking for, we are on the wait list, but I will definitely let people know if we find out that there is a spot on either of those days to be able to table. Curtis had shared that there is a Naropa tabling event on September 3rd when students are coming back. So the expectation is that he inquired about reaching out to Luna to see if they could join also, which I thought was a great idea. So he's not here right now to share more information about that, but that's what that event is on September 3rd. We also just recently, Jeremy Moore, he's the dean at Naropa. He followed up with some inquiries about him wanting to know more about the panel and maybe have some collaboration with the panel and BPD. So there's a hope that we continue that conversation with Naropa and build stronger relationships with that entity. And then on September 7th is the What's Up Boulder. This is an annual event. This year it takes place at Scott Carpenter Park, and it is basically where a lot of city departments have tables to share the work that they're doing and be able to communicate and engage with community members. It's expected that about 400 community members are going to attend this year, and I'm looking to see, I think Milen and Lizzie were the two people who are present in this meeting who were able to attend last year. Lizzie, can we borrow your tent?
Oh, yes. I would mean to get back to you about that. Definitely. The
Okay,
tent is
great.
available.
Okay, we'll arrange for a time for a pickup drop off. Thank you so much. That will be very helpful because the sun is hot. Um, so, and I shared with the engagement committee that there was a request, a really smart request from someone who asked if we could be on like a bingo card scavenger hunt type of things where it made people have to find the table. So I was able to reach out and get us on that this year. So there are going to be people seeking the table out. So it's an event where, again, a lot of people come and it'll give us some opportunity to talk with people who might have very little or no information about the police oversight panel and oversight of the Boulder Police Department in general. And I believe you all should have a calendar invite for that date also.
All right. I'll just add for any folks who are interested and thinking about going, it's a very low-key, casual, informal opportunity. So it's like a great entry into community engagement for the panel. Go ahead, Jerry.
I just remembered an important detail. So last year, the judge of the municipal court was in the dunk tank. He was actually right across from us. My daughter dunked him twice. And I had made a suggestion that maybe Redfern should be in the dunk tank. And when I saw some public announcements about What's Up Boulder, it says Chief Judge and Redfern. So just letting you know.
Great. All right. Well, thank you, Sherry. For our last item, I apologize. I had completely forgotten that Bill submitted some notes for us to read to give on his behalf for the final item on our agenda. So thank you, Soledad, for reminding me of that. Would you be up for reading those comments for us, Soledad?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. So from Bill, I'm gonna be looking to this site where the screen is. A personal issue. Hi, everyone. A personal issue came up, and I'll be in transit in an airplane during our meeting. I'll try to hop on Zoom if I can, and if that works out, I'll have to keep my camera and sound off since I'll be on a plane. I can participate with chat. I wanted to give you all a quick update on our recent community engagement meeting and then invite those who were there to jump in and add anything I missed. First, a big thank you to everyone for the great conversation, the openness and the willingness to dig into some important topics. One of the main decisions we made was that we are not going to create a formal process for community engagement work on the panel right now. Instead, we agreed to put together a proposal template that anyone on the panel can use if they have an idea for an event the panel might support, or if we want to participate in someone else's event, like tabling and talking about how to engage with the panel or file a complaint. I'll be drafting that template next week and sharing it with you all. It will include details like who the contact person is, what the event is, when it is happening, what's needed, and whether there's a budget. We also had a pretty in-depth discussion about the panel budget. We agreed to ask our co-chairs to add the budget conversation to a future full panel meeting agenda. There's interest in knowing if we have a specific budget for community engagement, how to access it, and what the process is for getting any extra resources we might need. Selena also offered to help us track down the budget for the Independent Police Monitor, which is where our engagement funds come from. We already use that budget for things like food and retreats, so having clarity will help us plan for events that might require more than just snacks. That's the gist of our discussion. We didn't really get to upcoming engagement activities, so I'd like to ask Curtis to share the one he's involved with and Sherry to share any she's aware of as well, which we already did. And of course, if anyone who was at the meeting wants to fill in the blanks or add something I missed, please jump in. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Soledad. All right, does anyone have anything to add? Anyone who's in the meeting want to add any comments or thoughts? Bill also just texted me and he said he's available live for questions via chat. So if you have any questions for Bill, I could text them to him. He's happy to participate. All right, everyone feeling good about that plan? Kind of a streamlined template option to facilitate without too much added process. Great. All right. Any other community outreach and engagement items? We have a little time before we go over to our IPM report. All right, hearing none, I will pass it over back to Sherry. Thanks.
Apologies, I was muted. Can people see can people see the screen? Okay, thank you. Okay, the August 2025 Boulder Police Oversight Panel Independent Police Monitors Report. So looking at the case file review data for July 2025, there were 2 full case file reviews completed, and we are still waiting for BPD disposition on those 2 cases. And currently, there are 10 cases awaiting panel review. One of them, MI 2024-065, we are in the process of scheduling. We're going to look at the cases that have been completed since July 1st, 2025. SM 2024-002 has been closed. MI 2024-084. At the request of a business, officers were clearing people sleeping outside the business under posted no trespassing signs. Officers 1 and 2 contacted multiple people, including complainant, and requested they pack up and leave the area and provide their names and/or identification. The officers contacted complainant when he was completely covered and his physical features, including his race, were obscured from the officers. During this contact, complainant vacillated between providing and revoking consent for Officer 2 to obtain complainant's wallet and ID from within his other belongings. Officer 2 did not inform complainant of his right to refuse the search. Complainant also alleged that unknown officers were tracking him through his phone, but did not provide details about that. Allegation: Officer 1, Rule 1, compliance with values, rules, and general orders. General Order 100, unbiased policing, profiled complainant based on his race. The monitor recommended that this allegation be unfounded, and the department agreed. And Officer 1, Rule 5, police authority and public trust, detained the complainant. I recommended that this allegation be exonerated, and the department agreed. Officer 2, Rule 1, compliance with values, rules, and general orders, General Order 100, unbiased policing, profiled complainant based on his race. The monitor recommended that this be unfounded, and the department agreed with the unfounded recommendation. And a Rule 5 allegation, police authority and public trust, detained complainant. I recommended that this allegation be exonerated, and the department agreed. And also for Officer 2, Rule 5, police authority and public trust, search complainant's possessions. I recommended that this allegation be sustained with verbal counseling, and the department agreed on that recommendation and agreed to provide verbal counseling to the officer. For the unknown officers, Rule 5, police authority and public trust, followed and/or tracking complainant through his phone. I recommended that against unknown officers, this allegation be unfounded, and the department agreed. MI 2025-021, A police officer from a different jurisdiction wanted BPD to charge his ex-girlfriend with stalking and/or harassment. Ex-girlfriend posted information about him on social media sites, including "Are we dating the same guy?" and communicated with his current girlfriends and ex-wife. He also reported receiving multiple calls from ex-girlfriend during obscene hours of the morning. BPD conducted an investigation that included speaking with ex-girlfriend and a recent girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend explained that she called him in the early morning hours because he works midnights, and that is when he is awake. She admitted posting truthful information about him on social media and reaching out to his former and current partners as protected First Amendment activities. Detective 1 collaborated with both his sergeant and the BPD legal advisor to reach the decision to not charge the ex-girlfriend. Allegations against Detective 1, Rule 1, compliance with values, rules, and general orders, General Order 203, investigative responsibility and case assignments, failed to conduct a sufficient investigation. I recommended that this allegation be unfounded, and the department agreed. MI 2025-022, Officer 1 responded to a complaint that a vehicle had been parked on a residential street for the past 2 weeks. When Officer 1 contacted the vehicle, complainant was inside the back of the vehicle. Complainant described Officer 1 as escalating and banging violently on his vehicle, harassing and pushing his chest close to his. Officer 1's body-worn camera refuted this description, but captured Officer 1 and the complainant talking over each other. Officer 1 told complainant that if he did not move his vehicle in an hour, that it would be towed. The allegation against Officer 1 was a Rule 4, respect for others, was unprofessional and/or inappropriate towards complainant. I recommended that this allegation be not sustained, and the department agreed. MI 2025-025 has been closed. MI 2025-026, Officer 1 responded to a park after 2 individuals called 911 on each other. The initial dispute began when a woman complained that complainant was idling his vehicle. When Officer 1 arrived, complainant was no longer present, and he spoke with woman. Officer 1 called complainant twice, but then did not respond to a voicemail complainant later left for him. And the allegation against Officer 1 was Rule 1, compliance with values, rules, and general orders, customer service value, did not return a community member's voicemail. I recommended that this allegation be administratively closed with a coaching recommendation, and the department agreed with that recommendation. MI 2025-027, officers observed a car veering as it passed protesters and noted that the driver seemed to be engaging negatively with the protesters. While driving behind him, the officers confirmed their understanding that driver had the right to argue or disagree with the protesters. The evidence established that the officers followed behind driver because of his driving, including swerving near protesters and swerving within his lane. Officers issued driver a summons for careless driving. Driver did not cooperate with PSU's attempt to learn more about his allegations. Additional comments made by complainant were disproven by camera footage and will not be made allegations. These include the claim that the officers followed driver for 5 miles and failed to inform driver why he was pulled over. Allegations against Officer 1, Rule 5, police authority and public trust, violated driver's constitutional rights. I recommended that this allegation be administratively closed, and the department agreed. MI 2025-029, complainant was removed from RTD bus and told he could not ride the bus for the rest of the evening. Officers 1 and 2 responded to a disturbance call because complainant was yelling at RTD employees. Officers considered whether complainant should go to detox or could walk home. Complainant wanted the officers to drive him home. The officers declined and left the scene. Complainant began calling BPD multiple times to complain and reached Sergeant 1, who drove to meet complainant and gave him a ride to his home. Sergeant 1 also coached the officers and explained that although providing a ride was not required, officers have the discretion and opportunity to solve a problem instead of creating new problems. The allegation against Officer 1, Rule 4, respect for others, spoke rudely to complainant. I recommended that that be administratively closed, and the department agreed. And Officer 2, the same allegations, spoke rudely to complainant with the same recommendations and outcomes of administratively closed. And MI 2025-031, complainant alleged that he witnessed an unlawful traffic stop. In later correspondence, he reported not having a complaint. Review of the body-worn camera of the incident did not capture misconduct. The allegation against Officer 1, Rule 4, respect for others, harassed a motorist. The monitor recommended that this be administratively closed, and the department agreed. Looking at the 2024 open caseload, there are 5 cases. SM 2024-003 is in chain of command review. MI 2024-065 is waiting scheduling for panel review. MI 2024-076 is with the Chief of Police. MI 2024-078 is being prepped for panel review. And MI 2024-082 is in chain of command review. Looking at case statistics for 2025 month of July, I classified 6 complaints. 4 of those were misconduct. There was 0 serious misconduct classifications, 1 community inquiry, 1 community feedback, 0 unspecified incidents, 0 were referred to conflict facilitation process. I did not observe any interviews, had no critical incident scene response, and I deemed thorough and complete 2 investigations by the PSU unit. And the investigations that were closed by BPD in the month of July were 9 that you just heard of. And looking at our open docket, these numbers are current as of August 5th. There were 42 cases. Of those, 21 were classified, 9 were pending monitor classification, and 12 of them were in preliminary investigation by PSU. And regarding my own community engagement or special events in July, very light. I did a BPD ride along with a sergeant. I also looked, and about half of the month I was on vacation or city holiday. So are there any questions before I stop sharing my screen? Chico.
Sherry,
Yes.
so on your monthly case summary, are you going to put a new classification where we get those cases where we don't have any information redacted and stuff like that?
I don't, in the case summaries that you get?
Yeah, in the monthly case summary, there was some exchange about those cases that are sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be reporting that we got this, but it's not being reviewed?
We can talk more about those during closed session.
Okay. So the question is, are you going to be tracking them here?
I am reporting publicly to the limits of my ability.
That answer your question, Chico?
That's fine.
All right, any other questions for Sherry? We're just gonna go right back to Sherry for our next items, so.
Sherry cannot find the stop sharing screen. Oh, there I'm gonna find it. Too many layers of windows open.
All good. So that brings us to our ad hoc items. First one is a discussion of the fatal incident.
I didn't know that I was talking about this to kick it off, but I think people should have seen the inquiry from former co-chair Victor King regarding an incident that happened in December 2024, where the district attorney publicly released his report into an investigation where a person who had been detained by CUPD and then transported to the hospital died in custody after, I think 2 days later. Victor inquired whether the panel was going to be looking into that. So that is one of the cases that we are going to be able to discuss in closed session.
Does anyone have any public meeting questions about that? I know there's some questions about kind of why we hadn't maybe heard about it through the usual official like critical incident channels, just some differences with this. Do you want to address that, Sherry? Why this didn't come across as a critical incident initially?
I was notified of this case pretty early on, and I reviewed the video, and there was a discussion of whether or not it did qualify as a critical incident. It isn't clear, but we've been able to talk with BPD and basically have an understanding that we're not going to argue about whether it technically is a critical incident or not, but that because there are criminal charges against one of the paramedics, and BPD does not have control over most of the evidence in this case, the expectation is going to be that the panel will be able to review the evidence, but it's going to be after the conclusion of the felony criminal trial or criminal matter. I don't know if it's going to go to trial or not.
Okay, so according to our ordinance, with a critical incident where BPD is the main agency involved, we would be required to do a panel review, correct?
You wouldn't be required, but you certainly would have the ability to vote to decide whether or not you would, which I expect the answer would almost always be yes.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact reasons, but District Attorney Doherty in his public report identified that this took the Boulder County investigative team longer to get to his finding and report than it normally does.
Any other questions? Turner, I saw you had your hand up briefly. Did you have a question?
It's been answered.
Cool. Go ahead, Milan.
So I'm just wondering, BPD was involved, but not maybe directly in this critical incident?
How about we talk about it in closed session?
Go ahead, Sterling.
With the criminal case going, that could take, a couple years to finally dispo. Would it make sense to like discuss that after, like have this discussion after, because then there's probably going to be different panel members on, as opposed to, it gets discussed now and then people who are on the panel now aren't going to be able to have an input or thought about it when it actually is able to be reviewed, if it's chosen to be.
Panel members have in the past deferred votes, so that is always an option if they feel that there's more information that they could obtain and vote at a later time.
Okay, so it's listed in our summary briefly. Is the intention that we could choose to vote tonight or defer, or is it listed just for informational purposes tonight?
I assume that you would vote on it.
Okay.
I mean, but you can also, we have had times where someone has made a motion to defer.
I appreciate your point though, Sterling. That totally makes sense. Let's talk about it in closed session. But any other questions, comments? All right. We'll go to our next item, ride along reminder.
I guess that's me. There are two things. If you have not done a ride along in the last 12 months, contact Bethany to get those in. I believe last year, quite a few people did them in the months leading up to the passage of the ordinance on, I think, October 23rd. So I suspect that there are several people who are going to have their ride along expiring soon. So reach out to Bethany so that you can get on the calendar for ride-alongs. Thank you for those who have already done that. But it is a requirement to maintain your ability to vote as a panel member. So get those in so that no one loses their voting status. And Selena has created a chart where you can update your ride-alongs on it. I included the link in the last updates from the monitor. So please fill that out and get your ride-along scheduled if you need them. And also, ride-alongs are nicer when it's not cold.
Can you remind us the recommended times? What are the
Oh, sure.
briefings?
It's highly recommended to attend the briefings, which would be considered roll calls in a lot of other departments. And those occur at 6 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 9 o'clock at night as the way to start off your ride along. It's not essential, but I think it really gives you framing for some of the things that the officers do and what they are expected, like what they're briefed on that morning and how they have follow-up conversations about incidents that happened either on that watch the day or so before or something that happened on a different watch but needs to be conveyed to the whole department.
Got it. Thank you. Go ahead, Malin.
I think I'm looking at your latest email, Sherry, and I'm not seeing it, but
Oh.
I'm
Then maybe it was the week before.
I may be missing that. So
I definitely do not have that pulled up. I know you are one of the people who has done a ride along relatively recently.
yeah,
I can send it in the chat if that's helpful.
yeah, it'd be great. Thank you.
Apologies if I was thinking about the week prior.
It's okay.
Oh, was someone about to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And this I believe was in last week's email, is we have a poll for a legal training. I believe only 2 people, thank you, Malen, have filled out the poll to find out which day would work best for people. So please get that filled out so we can get that on the calendar in a way that it accommodates the most panel members.
Go ahead, Selena.
Yeah, I just want to notify everybody that Milan had caught an error in my doodle poll. So it looks on September 22nd. That won't be a date that is available because we have the chief of police meeting that afternoon. So I will make sure to make those edits in the doodle poll.
All right, last item I think is, well, actually, did we just address the last item? Anything else on the legal training? Good. All right.
Although, I mean, I guess Selena with a Milan assist just tipped off also that September 22nd is the Q3 meeting with the chief. So there is a document where you can put in questions or topics. And I have been assured that the hot team or some representative from the hot team is going to be able to attend to provide some of the questions or provide answers to all of your thoughtful questions about the work that they do.
Great. And the link to that, I think, was in your last email this week.
And you can always find, I put that in the meeting documents for the month that it takes place in.
Great. All right. That takes us to public comment and halfway through our meeting. I'm going to pass it over to Soledad. take it from here.
Okay, thank you. So I'm looking public comment, but we don't have any members of the public, right? No. So I guess we can just skip to closed session, if that's okay. We will need someone to make a motion to go into closed session in a second.
Forgot to mention before this is typically also when we might take a break. Do we want to do that after or now? What do folks prefer? Break now or closed session and then break?
I sort of think closed session because that'll have us ending right around 7:30. So if there is a member of the public who had hoped to speak at 7:30, that timing seems to work.
Nice. All right. I'll motion to go to closed session.
Okay, we need a second.
I second.
Okay.
Give me one moment. I'm finishing up notes, so give me 1 second. 20 minutes? Okay. Alrighty, see you guys soon.
Okay, so we're back from closed session and seeing no members of the public to kind of re-engage with public comment. We're going to take a 5-minute break and we'll be back. 7 minutes. Let's do that. So we'll be back at 7:55. I'll see you in a minute. Yes. Okay, welcome back. So we have a few minutes left in our meeting. We have case review voting and case assignment status. So let's move into the voting. So I'm gonna identify the case. We're gonna vote and Sherry or Selena are gonna roll call votes. Okay, cool. So our first case is EVT 0001234. That's the critical incidents we discussed previously. Incident happened on December 27th of 2024. So we have discussed it and I think we're ready to vote. Selena or Sherry?
Yes. Chico
Yes.
and Alan?
Is it yes?
Yes.
Turner?
Sorry, my audio was messed up.
This is the voting whether to take EVT 000
Oh, yes.
1234. Okay. Soledad
Yes.
and Milan
Yes.
and Lizzie
Yes.
and Jason.
Yes, and I apologize for sneezing on audio.
Didn't hear it.
We didn't hear you.
Okay.
Okay, next case is MI 2025-034. Allegations, Rule 1, conformance with laws, deployed fireworks, Rule 4, respect for others, harass and or taunted neighbors. I think we're ready to vote.
Okay, Chico,
No.
Alan,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Soledad,
Yes.
Milan,
Yes.
Lizzie,
Yes.
and Jason.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you say it first.
Okay, the case is MI 2025-036. Officer 1, Rule 1, compliance with values, rules and general orders, discretion arrest standards and enforcement actions, Rule 1, compliance with values, rules and general orders, traffic enforcement, Rule 1, again, same compliance with values, unbiased policing, and we're ready to vote.
Okay. Chico,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Soledad,
Yes.
Milen,
Yes.
Lizzie,
Yes.
and Jason.
To be different, I'm going to say no.
Gotta be a rebel.
Okay, then we move to assignments. So we are reviewing the 2 cases, right? The 3 cases, okay. Okay, for the first case, volunteers. The first case is the critical incident one. Just to note, we don't need to be just 3 in these cases. We can all review the case, so everyone that has interest can sign up to review the case. Actually, that's true for all the cases, but we need a minimum of 3 to review. Okay, so
Alan's interested.
okay. Again, so this is for the critical incidents case. Okay.
So I don't know if I was looking away at the wrong time, but I have Chico, Alan, Soledad, Milen, and Lizzie. Did anyone else raise their hand or express interest that I missed?
Okay, for our next case, MI 2025-034, volunteers.
Milen,
Okay.
all right, Soledad, Jason,
Okay. Next case, MI 2025-036.
Lizzie, Chico, Soledad.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else?
I'll put my name there. As a potential, I'm interested in that case too, but 3 cases tonight is a lot, so.
Do you want to be put down as sort of like an alternate or something like that? Or like I love it when more than 3 people sign up.
Yeah,
because
I'd like
then
to
if
be
there's a
on it.
conflict.
Yeah.
It's far easier to schedule.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, Turner, I'm sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot, and I recognize you didn't sign up for any, but you can, even if you haven't shadowed yet a case, you can assign, because by the time that we review these cases, you're gonna be able to be reviewing. So
Okay. Well,
if
yeah,
you
I'm interested in the first and second.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So if
Sorry, I had no idea. Thank you.
and I'm sorry, Milen, did you want to be fully included, or did you want me to like identify you as a potential alternate for
No,
that list?
just include me fully.
Okay.
Okay, and we're clear that Turner is going to be in the first and second. Okay, cool. Okay, so we have the assignments. Milan, I see your hand.
Yeah, I just want to put down on the record that I have asked for 2 cases to be reclassified by the independent police monitor CF 2025-013 and CI 2025-009, and that those were denied. I think I just want to voice a concern for biases that have been disregarded, and I just wanted to be on the record. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Milan. Okay, anything else? If there's nothing further, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Okay, actually, Jason, you're third, but okay, we'll take it. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Great meeting. And I'll see you in person next month.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.